geeks? So this video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a talking video. I have another YouTube channel if you're not aware, and it's called I Wanted to See One Video, and I've been uploading on that channel for 9.5 years, and I started this channel recently, and this channel I want it to be different from my other channel. I should probably take my inhaler. I'm gonna take my inhaler for real. So that channel, it's not very personable. I do a lot of tutorials and not a lot of talking videos. And with this channel, I said it on my other channel if you're from I Wanted to See One Video, I want this channel to be more personable. I want to talk. I want you guys to get to know a little bit more about me, and I can learn a little bit more about you guys. I don't want it to be like that channel where it's just like a tutorial, a tutorial, a tutorial. I want it to be a mix of tutorials on here and like tag videos and fun videos and then talking videos and, you know, question and answer videos and DIYs. I want to do a bunch of stuff on this not tutorial, on this channel, because I do want it to be more personable. So on I Wanted to See One Video, one of the most asked questions, and sometimes I say asked, like axed, please forgive me, so if you think you're hearing axed, that's probably what I am saying, but I'm trying my best to pronounce asked. I can't say it. But on the channel, people are always asking how I got into makeup and how I got into YouTube, and I'm going to explain that to you guys right now. Growing up, I was a tomboy. I always went to really small schools, private schools. Only for 3 years I attended public schools. So like from 4th to 7th grade, I was the only kid in my grade. The way the school worked was it had like 1st to 4th grade in the classroom and 5th to 8th grade in the classroom. So all the grades around me didn't really have girls, so I just ended up hanging out with guys a lot, and I think that's why I was such a tomboy, just because I was around guys so much. So I didn't like makeup. I hated the color pink. But then 8th grade came along, and I really wanted to graduate at that private school, just because I would have been the only person graduating, and I just thought how funny it would be if I had to throw, like when they make you throw your cap, and it would just be like one little cap going up and then down. But that didn't happen because we ended up moving, and then I ended up attending a public school for 8th grade. So for 8th grade, we had a graduating banquet, and everybody got dressed up, and my mother let me choose like some makeup that I was gonna wear. I really didn't want to wear it, but I was just like, fine. So I chose blue eyeshadow and pink lipstick and lip gloss, and it looked terrible. Like, I looked ridiculous. But that was my first experience with makeup, and after trying that, I loved lip gloss. So 9th grade came along. I went to another private school, and I wore nothing but Smackers Cotton Candy lip gloss for the entire year. It was a clear lip gloss, but it was my favorite. Cotton Candy was my favorite, and not because I liked the smell or the taste. I think it was just I liked the idea of cotton candy, so that's why I liked it. So I wore nothing but lip gloss that year. And then 10th grade came around, and all I wore was black eyeliner in the waterline, and it looked terrible. I can't believe nobody ever said anything to me. It didn't look like the emo look or like the rocker look, which is what I was pretty much trying to go for. It just looked like I had mascara on from the day before, and it was just like running down my face. And I can't believe nobody said, Bethany, you know what? Take that off your face. But I wore that from 10th, 11th, into 12th grade. So 12th grade comes along, and I had this one friend whose mother worked in a salon, so she was into makeup, and she had gotten bronzer, and all the girls in the school were really into bronzer. At this school, you couldn't wear makeup. I got away with it more than the other girls, just because the school I went to was a Romanian school, and all of these people knew each other's parents and stuff, so if you went to their church, they would tell your parents, and you would probably get in trouble. But I'm not Romanian, so I just think the parents, or not the parents, the teachers never said anything because they're just like, they didn't really care. Okay, so this is where YouTube really comes into play. Okay, I graduate from high school and I go to college, and when I applied for my FAFSA for college, I didn't get any. The only thing I got was a direct loan, but you know, my parents made too much money, and honestly, it wasn't a lot of money, because you guys know how friggin' government and education system is. You know, your parents make too much money, but they don't take into account that there's other kids in the family, there's a mortgage that needs to be paid, and bills, and mouths to feed. So that's not how it all worked out for me. So I go to college, and in my first semester of college, my dad lost his job and my mom lost her job. And then on top of them losing their job, somebody in my family had gotten really sick. So my first semester of college comes to an end, and we're dealing with all this stuff, and I just don't have the money to go back to school. And even then, like, you can go and you can talk to people to try to figure it out, you know, pay in installments or whatever, but that wasn't an option for me because there was just so much stuff that was happening one after the other. It wasn't just that my parents lost their job, it was just this and that and just so many things that a lot of people don't have to deal with, but our family had to deal with at the time. I ended up getting a job at a grocery store to help pay off the direct loan and the money that I owed and just help my family out. So I started working at this grocery store, and I'm working like 2-3 days a week, and I'm bored out of my mind, and all my friends are in school, and I'm like, damn it, poor me type of a deal. And my best friend was getting married, and I love Victoria's Secret type of hair and makeup. Not anymore, because nowadays it's just the same thing over and over again, but I used to love the way it used to be back in the day where they had like the big pretty curls and the smoky eyes and all that. So I ended up Googling Victoria's Secret hair how-to because I was going to be in her wedding and I wanted to know how I can make my hair look like Victoria's Secret hair. So I Google it and I come across YouTube, and I come across a YouTuber named Purse Buzz. And from Purse Buzz, I got to a YouTuber named Xsparkage, and she was showing you how to do makeup. Purse Buzz was showing you how to curl your hair. And then I saw these girls and I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks so fun. And in February, like the 1st of February of 2000, and what year was that? Damn, I'm old. 2007. I uploaded my first YouTube video. But then I started to upload to YouTube, and I was just like, I'm bored. I need something to do, otherwise I'll just be thinking about like all these things that are going on. And I started uploading to YouTube, and YouTube was the best escape for me. Like, I honestly think that if I didn't have YouTube around this time when everything started to go down for me, I don't know how life would have turned out for me, because I don't think if you don't upload to YouTube, I don't think you can really understand what I'm saying, because even if you aren't going through like all these issues in your life, if you upload to YouTube and you do have a community around you, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about, how like it really can change your life and just make things so much more enjoyable for you than they were before. And that's exactly what I found with YouTube. I sucked when I started uploading YouTube. I sucked at makeup. I was horrible, but I was uploading anyway. And then this was back in the day before there was like a bunch of people photoshopping everything that is on their face, and on top of that, beside the Photoshop, because not everybody does that, there weren't many people teaching you how to do makeup. It's not how it is nowadays, where it's so easy to learn about what this and that is and this technique and that technique. This was back in the day where there was just a bunch of girls literally in their bedroom. It wasn't like any fanciness. Like half of us had our beds in the background. I had my bunk bed in the back of my freaking background. It looked so bad. But anyways, it was just a bunch of little girls, didn't know what they were doing, but they were having fun doing it, and we were pretty bad. I'll speak for myself. I was terrible. So I'm somebody who is very creative. I love to be creative, and I also love, like when I really love something, like a hobby, I want to be the best at it, and that's how I was with makeup. I started doing just regular eyeshadow looks, but then I was like, I want to get more creative with this, and I started doing more avant-garde looks. I would glue so many things to my face, stickers and flowers, anything I could find at the craft store, I would glue to my face. It was a lot of fun. So from there I ended up gaining a good following. YouTube isn't the same anymore though. Like YouTube is so much harder to gain a following in my opinion, just because there's more people uploading now, and also when YouTube and Google integrated, it's just all this stuff happened where if you have an older channel, I feel like it's just harder to do, whereas if you have a newer channel, it's just easier to do. And I don't know what it is, but that's the way I feel. So on that channel, I was doing what I loved, and it was so much fun, and I started gaining, you know, some followers, and it was just like the best time ever because they were like so nice to me, and I really enjoyed talking to them, and like it just didn't make me feel so lonely, because I felt like really lonely just because, like I said, everybody was in school and moving on with their lives, and then there was me and everything that was going on, and I was just like, this sucks. But when I had YouTube, it's just like I wasn't thinking about that anymore. I was on YouTube for a very long time, and then I found out about partnerships and that you could make money off of YouTube. So this was back in the day where you actually had to apply for partnership, and there was all these rules on how you can get partnership. So I ended up deleting so many videos because I had a lot of copyrighted music, and I kept trying to apply for partnership and I kept getting denied. So during this time, our family ended up losing our house. So this happens. The last day that we're supposed to be out of our house, there was a bunch of stuff that happened. We were like in a hospital for like 5 days before we even had to get out of the house because somebody was sick. So then the final day that we're supposed to be out of the house, I made YouTube partner. And it was like the biggest blessing ever because we had to be out of the house. We were moving back into Chicago because we were living in the suburbs. So we moved back to Chicago and we didn't have a lot of things that we needed. And with the money I made from YouTube, we were able to get, you know, some appliances for the house because not every apartment comes with appliances, especially in Chicago. So we were able to get new appliances for the house and groceries, and it was just like the biggest blessing at that time. And then from there on, YouTube totally changed my life. I'm not saying that the money I made was like so much money, but it was enough to help us when we really needed it. So basically that's how I got into YouTube. I was really bored and I couldn't go back to school, and then eventually I started a YouTube channel, and then I slowly developed my makeup skills. So then we'll get into the body painting part. First of all, if you're wondering how I got into body painting like comic book characters, because this channel, comic book and video game characters, from the very beginning of my other channel, I used to upload makeup looks that were inspired off of comic book characters, specifically X-Men. I was big on X-Men and doing looks that were based off of X-Men. So from the very beginning of my YouTube channel, I was already uploading like comic book and Zelda and Mario type of looks. They just weren't full on body paintings. It was like my first real body painting was Zora from Zelda. It was like inspired off of it, and I did it only on my face. So I was very familiar with already doing that type of stuff. But anyways, what happened was wearable makeup and like liquid latex and all that type of stuff eventually started really irritating my skin, and I had sleeping issues like for a very long time. So when I put these things on, I just felt like, because my eyelid twitch, and still it twitches sometimes from not getting sleep, so whenever I put the stuff on my face, like it just felt like I want to rip my eyes out of my head. So anyways, I got into this YouTuber named Madeyewlook, and I bought some body paint because I wanted to like recreate some of the stuff she did, and I realized that body paint doesn't irritate my skin the way that like eyeshadows and these things that are really close to my eyes do. So basically that's kind of how I got into body painting. I mean, I was familiar with it, but I wasn't doing it consistently on my channel. And then I got into Madeyewlook, and then from then on, I just got really into it just because like it was just like I can still film without feeling like my skin is burning off of my face and like my eyes are just going to pop out of my head. So that's how I got into body painting and makeup and YouTube. And with body painting, even then when I first started body painting, I wasn't the best at it. But I think I'm pretty darn good now. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'm saying I'm better than I was just because I consistently practice. And I think that's what people should take away. Practice makes perfect. And also, things are going to suck for a while, but they do get better. Yeah, so that is my story on how I got into makeup and into YouTube. So if you are questioning if you should make a YouTube channel, I say give it a shot. I mean, honestly, it's not the way it used to be. It's really hard to gain a following now on YouTube, but if you love it, you'll do it. It doesn't matter how many subscribers you've got. Like, I love what I do, and even on this channel, like this channel has way less subscribers compared to I wanted to see one video, but I like this channel more just because I wanted to see one video for me eventually. It's filled with so much hate, because what happens is somebody sees somebody do a look and they think that person created the look, and then they'll come to my channel and then yell at me and say I took this look or that look from them, without realizing that I uploaded this video from the person or before the person they like accuse me of copying. So it happens so much on I Wanted to See One video that like I love that channel, but at the same time it kind of stinks. And with this channel I just wanted to start all over again, and I also wanted it to be something I love so that when I upload I really look forward to it. And on this channel I always have loved comic books and video games, so it's doing something I really love to do. And yeah, as long as you love it, you're gonna enjoy it. And of course you're gonna have people that are gonna come on your channel and they're gonna hate on you and then give you a bunch of thumbs down, but it's worth it when you have those few people who stick around and make you feel good, if that makes sense. So that's one reason why I started this YouTube channel. So I want to thank all of you guys who have joined me for this YouTube channel. It means a lot to me. I really do heart you guys. Like, I appreciate it. And I know sometimes people say that, like, oh, I hurt you and you changed my life. And it's hard to understand sometimes because you think, oh, you're just being cheesy or you're just saying that. Like, if you knew a smidge of what I've gone through in my life, I think you would totally understand why I say I love you and why I love the YouTube community so much. With that mushy gushy stuff out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So take care. Bye.